Please fast forward, just give me a second. And I think we're live. There we go, we're live. Excellent. Hey guys, nice to be back again. Thanks for watching the last video. I'm actually silently pleased so many people watched it already, had a few comments. Today what I'm going to do is look at a very, very interesting website that maybe not a lot of people know. It's a Swedish website. Very easy, shipsforsale.com. You can see it in the details below the video. They get a wide range of boats, and we're going to look at some of them today, a particular category, which is the Swedish rescue ships. Now, that one you can see on the screen, that's the Astra. It's had a big refit already. We'll go into a few details. Just want to take you through two boats, introduce you to the style. I love these boats. You can probably tell, you know, where my sort of taste lies. I like slightly the older boats, 20-25 meter range, and something very, very capable. So, you know, some of the newer boats are nice, maybe a bit more luxurious, but, you know, I have a bias, I guess, towards safety and capability, and you can make things kind of comfortable somehow. So this is sort of like really, really my sweet spot, and we'll go through why. Moving forward, this is a website, shipsforsale.com. We'll go to the website in a minute and show you it. This is, unfortunately, I didn't translate this screenshot. This is in Swedish, I guess, and we'll show you through sort of the type of ships, and then we'll dive into a couple of them. But we'll skip that. Like I said, this is kind of my philosophy. I'm attracted to the ships just because I do, because I love it, and I think it's important for people who do connect to the boat. It's not necessarily a completely rational purchase. A lot of it is, but you know, if you don't love your boat, you know, you're not going to feel comfortable on it. So you really have to feel that that passion for it. But you have to use your head. You've got to check it and make sure you know what you're getting into, because, you know, love it because you love it, and check it against what you want to use it for, and all the other rational stuff. So this is the Astra. I'm not sure you can read the details. I'll make it a bit bigger. We're going to look at the photos in a second. So let me just, oops, it's maybe a bit too big. Let me make the font bigger, see if you guys can read that. Right, so this is the Astra. She was built in 1994. Had a big refit in 2014, about 700,000 spent apparently, and she's 24 meters overall, 23.35 meters, 21.21 meters on the water, 6.63 meter wide, and 2.5 to 3.2 meters deep. So I think the 3.2 meters, when she's fully bunkered, she's got all stores on board. So this is the plimsoll line on the boat. You can see it sort of there. I guess is about a 70 centimeter difference depending on the loading. So yeah, that's a fairly deep hole. Yeah, obviously designed for ocean use. And I think, you know, like I said, I've got to go and do a video on seaworthiness and some of the design features of a highly seaworthy boat. But depth is clearly one of them, and you see that in this boat, amongst a lot of other things. So she's 175 tons, so this is a heavy boat. So again, displacement is really important. So the more displacement you've got, the more more momentum that outside force have got to overcome. So you get a slower roll, a less sort of violent roll. And if it's designed well, you know, all things are displacement, the whole design, everything, you're looking for that easy movement on the sea without any sort of mechanical stabilization. Like I said in the last one, mechanical stabilization is always going to improve the feel on the boat, but if you start with a nice movement of the boat from just the fundamentals of the design, then any sort of anti-roll stabilization is going to make the boat that much better. Now this one's also ice class 1A. I don't know the class ratings off the top of my head, but it's probably worth looking at one point. So, you know, she's going to have some level of resistance to the ice, you know, going to be quite a nicely reinforced hull, and we'll look into that when we get into the details. Consumption, so for the first time I think I've actually got real consumption figures because we're on the website. So this boat consumes about 6 litres per nautical mile, so that's going to give you 48 litres per hour at about 8.4 knots, and they reckon this one will go 5,000 nautical miles at 7 knots. So this may not quite be your Amsterdam to Sao Paulo or Rio de Janeiro trip, but it clearly gets you to the Caribbean, and it'll get you, probably north of South America without any troubles. It's got a huge, absolutely huge range, capable in a lot of conditions. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking to do some serious ocean traveling, want a safe boat with a huge range, something like this, for me, is absolutely perfect. I haven't really spoken about my ambitions. A lot of my life is geared towards getting a boat like this, making my money and saying goodbye. And if something like this was available on the market at that time, and if I'm fortunate enough to make the money I want to, then this would be the perfect boat. The next one I want to look at, this is a different boat. This is a slightly older boat. So the Astra, this is from 1994. And I think you see it in the design. It's a slightly more modern design than this boat. This is 1970. It does look, slightly more classic, we'll say. Some people may say old. I have a very fond design. So you've got the canoe stern here with a high bow. Your slightly more rounded design, and yeah, I mean the commonality of these two. You've got the high pilot house, very large deck area. Sorry for flicking back and forth. So here you can see you've got your pilot house, your living quarters, the above decks in the center of the boat. You've got a huge aft deck, and you've got a very large foredeck as well. The other interesting thing you get into is a lot of these often have towing capabilities. So you'll have some sort of towing cable at the back sometimes. They've got quite a nice size launch dinghy on the front deck, well protected, from the ocean. You may get some water over the top, but you shouldn't be anything really that's going to wash that off the deck, maybe in really rough weather. Huge deck. So, if you do want to use this for personal use, at least on the rear deck, you got a lot of space. This one as well, big rear deck. They've got a bit of covering on the back deck, and they've got this platform here, so which looks like they've got a dinghy up there, and then on the front a crane, more dinghies. So like, again, depending on what you want to use it for, you've got plenty of deck space as well. I'm a kayaker, so I'd have my sea kayaks on there too. Another thing to note too, this looks like dry exhaust, so you've got the exhaust coming up above the stack here, so that's also good as well. So if I understand this, I've never had a dry exhaust boat, but well, I've had a cool keel boat which doesn't actually have water through the engine. It's basically a truck engine with basically a heat exchanger through the hull. I've also had a water cooled engine, where it sucks the water through the bottom of the boat and through. So this again is, at least from what I understand, is a good seaworthy design. So your exhaust is very high above the water. You should really have no water running into the engine. So if you've got your exhaust low down, if it's not well designed, even if it is well designed, you do run that risk of water sort of coming in back up through the exhaust into the engine. This, I mean, I don't know what sort of wave you'll need to break over you to get water in the engine. It should be pretty low. So again, that's just one of the many design features which are just pointing towards this has been very well thought out for use in rough weather. So the mission of the boat, so thank you for the viewer, Harry. Thank you, Harry. He made a couple of good points just about the multiple missions that a boat can have, right? Now, what determines the mission? That should really come from the owner, what you want to do with it. So I'm not here to sell anybody what they want to do with the boat. If you want to sit on the Riviera, look good and, have fun and swim off your back deck, then that's great. That's the boat you should get, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's really up to the owner. We all have our own lives and we all know what we like. That's really the hard thing. So, for me, I guess the bias is towards the sort of boats I like and have looked at for many years and lean in that direction. But this one is really a global traveller, designed for ocean crossing, polar exploration, and you know, these sort of boats can take the rough weather. You know, like I said, I've got my 3 priorities: be safe, have fun, complete the trip, right? So the more safe you are, hopefully the more fun you have, and the more chance you got of completing the trip. So that's kind of how I build it up. So, you know, I look for the features which can really do the, you know, you're going to be okay in the worst of weather. So the rational considerations are, so this is the head stuff, not the heart stuff, is the comfort. So this looks like it was designed to be a, you know, industrial boat, so used for, you know, sort of guard work, rescue work, that sort of thing. So it's not designed to be a luxurious yacht on the interior. I think we're going to see that when you see some of the laminate paneling and some of the interior. It's been done up, parts are good, but you're going to see it's going to be not, for example, at the level of a new, you know, a new yacht used for private use. It's, you know, limited really to coastal and ocean. You're going to have limited inland water use due to the height and the depth. So, you know, in Holland on some of the big rivers you're going to be okay, but, you know, you may not be able to pass under some of the bridges. You're going to have to go the mast up route, as they call it. And then obviously the depth, if you're 2.53 meters, some of the harbors may not be open to you. And then, you know, at the 24 meter length, a lot of the, you know, the sort of private, when I say the private harbors, the recreational harbors, you know, you may not be able to use them. So the height and the depth are going to be limits. So that's just something to consider. The running costs, it is a aged boat. These are not new boats necessarily. And when you're buying a boat, there's always this consideration. I like the older boats. You know, I've always had older boats. I think the newest boat I ever had was from 1974. And there's always this question between, you know, what you spend on ongoing maintenance versus refit. And you can only get that by doing an inspection. You should always sort of have some sort of rough idea what it costs to repower a boat, to replace certain equipment, etc. What are minor upgrades, you know, versus major upgrades, and you need to sort of think of those calculations. You know, so like the Astra, they spent 700,000 on that. Let's see if we can see what they spent the money on. I haven't looked at that yet. Versus, you know, say if you bought that boat with a, you know, original condition and you just ran it as it was. And I don't know, you just need to look and see, you know, if you want to repower versus a sort of complete rebuild of the engine, all these sort of considerations. Now, it's a big boat, so fuel consumption 50 litres an hour. If you're doing a Euro 50, you're going to burn 80 euros an hour. What's that, 1,600 a day, more or less, if you're at sea. So these can also be the considerations you know, you need to consider. And you'll see it in the fuel consumption here. If we just come back up here to this one. So the rating, this is from the website, I assume it's true. So it's 48 litres per hour, 8.4 knots, right? So that's 6 litres per nautical mile. And then this one here, 45 litres at 8.5 knots. So the speed is about out by 0.1, which is a difference, but let's say it's roughly the same. But you've got 45 litres and then you've got 48 litres. Now, that's a 0.8 litre difference. So in a day, if I can do the maths just very quickly, it's going to be plus 0.8 times 24. So, you know, so that's 19.2 at, I don't know what fuel is, let's say Euro 50. No, it's 20 litres of fuel a day, it's $30, but fine, you're doing a 30-day trip. Okay, so this one's not so great, it's going to be $1,000, so you spent so much already. If you can afford this sort of boat, afford to run it, you know, $1,000 over 30 days is not going to make much difference. But as I said before, something I want to get into, understand the difference in efficiency of modern engines versus, you know, engines of sort of 20, 30 years ago, and see the difference. And this may be some of the calculations you may want to do about when you choose to repower. So a bit of efficiency and running costs, just put into capital costs, and you get the reliability on top of that. So let's see. And yeah, maybe we look at that too. I have a finance background, so you know, you can finance capital expenses sometimes on boats, you know, depending on your credit. and you can find the financer, but nobody's going to fund your operating costs. So if you look at your cash flow on an ongoing basis, you may be able to smooth that out a little bit. Excuse me. Now the heart. This is my heart, not your heart. You may have a very different position. I know a lot of people who say they look old and ugly. That's fine. You can't argue with preference. And I'm not saying that my preferences are the only ones. So design is very classic look, with a canoe stern, very shippy, which I like. Looks very ocean capable, which again I like. And so for me, sort of envisages, if you look at the bottom, safe in a storm, this very expedition, alone on the ocean, the storm around you, that sort of vision. And also, with the journeys it's capable of, you can do ice travel, polar regions, Patagonia, some great lagoons down there, full of ice that you can get to from the ocean. Canada coast, some of these, there's a Glacier Bay, for example. Not that you necessarily need an ice class in some of these, if it's just small ice, what do you call them? Bloody hell. Icebergs floating around in a lagoon, you don't necessarily need that, but not bad to have it. So that's what I like about it. So we're going to go to the website now and start looking at it. So I've got to stop saying so as well. Here is the website, shipsforsale.com, and again, take a good look. They've got like very interesting boats. The rescue vessels, which is the category we're looking at, and they do sell. I've been following this site for years, and these boats don't tend to last so long. Some of these, you never really know the purchase history, but given the age, a lot of these I'm guessing do go to private use. A lot of some, you do find there's a market for boats going to sort of less developed countries, for the governments buy them, etc. You say rescue vessels, so for example now they've got this pilot boat or sea rescue boat, which is kind of cool. I'll show you this. That's a rescue boat, which gives basically a jet ski on the back. So that's something you want to see if you're having troubles. Various vessels, again, I don't know what these are, hydrofoils, historical boats, sailing boats, different things which I guess don't fit into any categories, barges, pontoons, pleasure crafts. So they do pleasure crafts here, sailing boats, speed boats, etc. Cargo tanks, navy patrol ships. So some of these are pretty interesting. If you like going fast, go do it. Troop, transports, Norwegian Armed Forces troop transport boats, goes at 40 knots with water jets. Could be a bit of fun if you're into that. Again, if you look inside, that one's not so luxurious. Work boats, which are just generally harbour boats, tugs, different things. Yeah, some interesting ones, pilot boats, tugboats, passenger ships. So these guys do everything. They're real, serious brokers, know their stuff. But today, one look at the rescue vessels. Now, the thing about this website is, it's new. You've got all that information there. It's great. Virtual tours, detailed information. They do a really, really great job. Lots and lots of photos. Probably my only complaint is you can't just scroll through the photos all at once. You click on one category and that's all the category you get. Then you got to click away and go into the next category. But fine, very small thing. But if we go back to the rescue vessels, if we go to the sold ones, look, all the information disappears. So what do you do if you want to see what's there? Well, I'll give you a tip. Search for the boat you want on Google and you'll find a archive site. So here, ships for sale, prev.cloudcreation, kun.1, etc, etc, etc. And all the pages have been archived. So I've got this prepared. This is the Astra page, and what you got here, you've got all the information, and it's on this archive site. So don't be disheartened if you want to get the detail of the boats that you like a boat, you just want to learn about it. Go to this archive and look for the archives. So you can also translate to, well, can I translate to English? It looks like I can't for some reason. Okay. It could be 4, but fine. I managed to translate the first section. Now, you got links to YouTube, and they've got some YouTube videos and the virtual tours, which we'll take a look at that in a second. Now, this is another good one. This boat here, the Astra, it had appeared in the Passage Maker in March 2018. So they did a nice piece on it. So if you've never seen Passage Maker before, if you like long distance boats, journeys boats, you want to see what's going on, boats on the market, refits, people's journeys, etc. It's a really nice magazine. Lots of advertising to it, so you can see what the new companies are doing. So yeah, so I highly recommend. It's not so expensive, maybe $30 a year. I think my subscription's run out. I need to renew it, but go subscribe to Passage Maker. Again, I'm not getting commission or promotion. I'm just doing this for fun. So they've got they've got the PDF there, so you can find that on the archive site. Have a read. So what we're going to do is, unfortunately, I don't have, on the archive site, you click on the photos, there's nothing there. It's not going to open it. So we're not going to be able to actually get a good look at the photos. I've got a request from one of the viewers to do a full review on this, and I'll do that. I'll prepare something in more detail, look at the specs and different things, try and find out a bit of the history if I can, and do a good review of the boat. But today it's just really to introduce this sort of rescue boat class. We'll look at 2 boats just briefly, and that'll be it. So I haven't really prepared, but look, let's go. We'll go to the virtual tour, right? So this is good, pretty easy to work out. If you want to navigate, you can navigate. Just click on the arrows and you can walk through the boat. Otherwise, you can just click on the red squares, and I'm below deck, and I want to go main deck and outside. So we'll start from the outside of the boat. I wonder if I can zoom in and out. Doesn't look like it. So we're on the deck. So what do we got here? The outside. Okay, you've got a entrance here at the back to climb on. It's pretty easy. Actually, it looks like you've got a folding section there. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see if we get on the back deck and see. Does that whole thing fold down? That's interesting. So okay, there's your sun deck for swimming. Okay, it's not teak lined or comfortable, but that can be, looks like it could be lowered. I'm guessing it's probably got something less leisurely involved given the history of the boat. Bollards probably for towing. Ladder nicely stowed on deck. Couple of hatches. So just paint on deck. Can't even tell if, I guess it should be non-grip, I would hope. And do we have any towing equipment? So you got a pretty serious looking, I'm guessing that's a hydraulic crane there. I wonder if we go up the top, we'll see if we can find out how that's used. But yeah, a big deck, and if you really want to be luxurious, depending how you want to use the boat, you could possibly smooth this out a bit and raise it up a little bit and have a nice teak deck on that, if you wanted to use that for entertainment purposes. Personally, that's would be a completely, oh, that's nice. You click on the photo, see what's in there. Typical crap, which is on the, and how do I close this? Yeah, typical crap you find in a boat box. Where do we want to go? I think let's go forward a bit. Right, what do we got here? So there's your crane. I've never had one of these cranes in real life, so I can't really offer too much information on it. And I'm not sure, maybe somebody can tell me. It looks like you've got a drum. It looks like you've got hydraulics. And I'm just wondering if that is for towing. because you've got these bollards here. Looks like you've got something you can run your tow lines through. I just wonder if that's a drum with a cable on it. Not 100% sure. If we can actually get a better view of that. Ooh, yeah, it looks like a drum with a cable. So yeah, it looks like it's got towing capabilities. So when these Beneteau yachts, their keels fall off in the middle of the Atlantic, you can be the one to rescue them, and you can take them home. So go up to the bridge deck. What do we got here? Okay, nice place to store your outboard motor. Okay, we'll come back here. We'll go into the bridge, and let's see if we get upstairs. Can we climb? Let's go around the front. Okay, got a Portuguese deck, which is nice, and just a grid. It's good water drainage. And just give you the view. Imagine yourself looking forward out at sea. So another dinghy. Okay, it's quite a nice one. And I guess that's another crane potentially to get it on and off the boat. So you've got a lot of room on deck, a lot of cranes to do a lot of things. Your life rafts, etc. So, okay, you can actually climb. These are, yeah, but that looks like just to get to the, looks like you should be able to get up the top, but I just can't see it from here. But let's not spend too much time on it. And we'll go inside. Here we are on the bridge. So, as you can see, as I said before, this was an industrial boat. It looks like they've cleaned it up. And when I get into do a detailed video on this, I'll look at the history, because it went to quite a nice yacht yard, shipyard to get worked on. So sort of navigator, communication station, it looks like, just table. Interesting. So you got the steering wheel there. I guess that's operational. Lift button. I guess that's life belt or something in Swedish. Okay, I mean the fabrics there are quite nice. They put a lip on the edge to keep you secure. You've got central heating, so there will be a boiler on board. Plenty of plugs. Yeah, it's not too bad. You can tell it's very commercial. So it's been built obviously for commercial use. Pilot seat, nice. You got the suspension on the chair, so in any weather you should be comfortable. Nerd signaler, so probably similar to German, not emergency signal. The rescue bear and some big screens, so it'd be interesting to know. Like I said, we'll do that in the next video, try and see what equipment's on board. Okay, you got some Luftung, some air and ventilation there, and oh, look at this camera array, that's nice. So screen with 4 cameras on board from different positions. Really cool. That's a nice bridge. So let's go to the other side, see what we can see. Okay, so I'm interested to know how it's steering. You got a wheel there, but I guess there's something else going on there. And the sheepskin's always good. In Australia, where I grew up in summer, we always had sheepskin in the car because it kept you warm in winter and cool in summer. Okay, these are engine things. The double arm wipers, again, you'll hear me go on and on. The double arm wipers are an absolute godsend. In a boat this size, industrial, you're always going to get it. In recreational boats, you often don't. So here we are, we're in the main deck in board, and they've done a nice job on the floor. So this is pine with some sort of Sikaflex in between, it looks like. I always like sort of like the twin tone, like mahogany, teak, interlaying, so you get the twin colors. So this is okay, I guess. Wouldn't be my favorite, but it's modern, it's clean, it's probably affordable, I guess. So what do we got here? We got a Sorry for spinning around, guys. L-shaped table with a couple of director's chairs. Kitchen. It's not a huge kitchen. I'm a little bit surprised actually for the size of boat. I guess the wheelhouse is not so huge on this one. Twin sink, full stove, oven. Is that a washing machine or a fridge? Oh, there's a full-size fridge. Okay, and it looks like a washing machine. So look, it's okay. There's not a lot of preparation space. I guess if you covered your sink up, you get some more preparation space. And there you go. There's the lounge. If you wanted to, sure, you could put a flat screen on the wall, heating, etc. And again, you got the laminate on the ceiling, which can be okay. Depends how it's done. I don't like this crisscross pattern. It really breaks up the flow. Big things. And what do we got here? Shower and toilet. So hand sanitizer, soap. Don't know what all this is. Shower. Seems a reasonable size shower with shower curtain. Would have a shower curtain at some point, and a toilet. So compact but usable. And have we seen everything on this? So what have I missed? I'm going to just jump. Okay, here we go. So just to follow you through, we're in the kitchen, and if we go back, go aft, you've got bunk room. Okay, full bunk, and that looks like, I guess that's just a seat. I'm not sure that's wide enough for somebody to sleep on. Just a cushioned seat, maybe for storage or just for sitting on while you put your boots on. And is there another one on the other side? Let's go in this cabin. Oh, you got a laundry. Okay, great. Washer, dryer. Don't know what that is. Is that a boiler? Maybe that's a boiler. Looks like a boiler. Couldn't be 100% sure. So that's your laundry. Okay, so this is just your kitchen living area. So again, it's not the most luxurious. You're not really having large lounging areas. So it's very, yeah, you can see the commercial heritage. Okay, so you got a cruise quarters down here. Forepeak, that's the bunk room you don't want to be in. Although here we don't know how forward you are. It looks like you're almost below the wheelhouse there, the bridge. So again, you've got this laminate, yellowish laminate, probably from the 90s. Not sure if they would have replaced that. So, you know, they've done a bit, I'm guessing, and this is what I'll try to find out, they've done some carpentry work, some cabinetry work, maybe kept the existing laminate and just upgraded some of the fabrics and maybe like some of the tabletops. That probably would have been a laminate top. I'm just seeing what you've got here. This is another shower. Okay, another shower bathroom. Okay, you've got a little seat in there. I guess it's too rough. You can have your shower. I'm a little bit disoriented now. Okay, I just want to see what this is. I don't know, it just looks like decoration. So let's continue moving aft. So we just passed there, and okay, we've got a room with 3 bunks. You just watch the dots where we're back out. So what have I missed here? Just going to click on the dots and jump around. Okay. So that looks like the accommodation. Now, what do we got here? You got the engine room. Okay. So it's a pretty big engine room. It's a pretty serious engine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cylinders, but quite large capacity. And again, get into that. I guess that's your exhaust. So this is probably one of the things about these boats. These things, I don't know for sure, but you may be something you want to have a bit better mechanical knowledge on than normal. Diesels are generally pretty reliable if they're treated nice. They'll run and just keep on running. But you obviously want to work on it. And then sometimes with higher capacity, more pressure, different things get a bit more industrial, a bit more dangerous if they go wrong. So probably need to know what you're doing. Most of us can do oil changes, or we'll do a bit of work on sort of most of the recreational engines. Whirlpool is another freezer. But something like this, I might be a little bit nervous on, shall we say. What have we got here? Which way are we going? So we're going to the starboard side. Reserve generator. Go up the stairs. Maybe we go up the stairs. Generator. Right, okay. If we go back upstairs, okay, we're out on the deck. Right, okay, so that's interesting. So we're on the starboard deck, aft, it looks like, and this is one of the entrances into. So what do I want to do? I want to go down, we'll go down the hatch, back in the engine room, or we're in the workshop now. So that looks like your steering gear, I'm guessing. Steering gear and where they keep the paper towels. I'll click away from that. And this is your workshop, so you've got a workbench there. Let's see if I see it a bit better. Okay, so this is your workshop. Inverter, different machinery. So look, if you had the money, maybe hire a mechanic to jump on board, and here we are, we're back. But I want to go into the, okay, so this is the workshop, alright, okay. So we're all the way in the workshop. So, I mean, very capable, but, again, no double cabins. It's very much for a single person's working yacht, not the most luxurious. Like, all the seating is pretty much the same, no real lounges, it's all upright seating at tables. So there's probably some things you could do to change that. Depends on how you want to use it. So it really hasn't been set up for luxurious cruising, shall we say. Excuse me. So this is definitely not the Gin Palace. The foredeck, looking aft. Okay, you got your anchors there. What have we got in the box? It's got to go down in the forepeak, I guess. Okay, picture doesn't want to enlarge. Okay, we went into the cabin. Okay, so it's escape hatch. Yeah, so look, so I think that's probably enough. I'll give you an idea. Like I said, I'll come back and do another review of this in more detail. I'm interested in the boat, just generally. But I think this is the question which comes down to the would you buy the boat? Very capable, but very sort of commercial machinery on board, which you either have to learn how to use or maybe get some help. It's not the most comfortable boat in the world. I guess some of the living areas are quite small. Maybe there's some things you can do. So it's really a large hull with a small superstructure, big engine machinery, so, but fine. If that's your thing, go for it. I like the look, but, I'm not sure this would be, yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced for myself. So this is I'm just going to put on mute because I get hit on copyright. That's the boat on the water. Registered in the Marshall Islands. That's interesting. I'll go back to that one. See it from the port side. New towing equipment and ropes. 4 rotating automatic stabilizers. Okay. Should be very comfortable boat. Some more more air conditioning, firefighting. No, she looks, I mean, the way she moves through the water, the way she looks. Yeah, water maker. What was that? Sonic anti-fouling. You know, there's really a powerful engine. I mean, she's got very capable boat. So yeah, I mean, worldwide range, more or less any conditions. So I think it's well kept. You probably wouldn't have to spend any money on it, like mechanically. It would really just be down to your taste in that interior. Is that sort of the boat you want to have? And could you make it a bit more, maybe it's a slightly more comfortable than it is, and you know, what could you do with the outdoor areas if you wanted to use it as a personal boat? But yeah, there we go. So that is Astra. Right, so we'll go to the next one. So this is the Ulla Rinman. So I'm on the archive site here. So this one was from, let's just have a look. So this one was from 1970, I think. Yeah, 1970. Arctic expedition. So it's classified under Norwegian Maritime Directorate. It doesn't say here what classification it is. So 6 cabins, can sleep 15, 12 passengers. So it's about the same size, a little bit lighter than the other boat, but from a different, similar design, or at least the philosophy of design is the same, but just a different generation. So where do we want to start? We're on the main deck. Let's have a look around. So we'll go aft deck. So here, oh excuse me, are we aft? Oh my god, excuse me, sorry. So I'm pretty sure this is the aft deck. So we put in a wooden seating, so that's something, at least something nice. You still got this big hatch in the middle of your desk, and I don't know what's that. Could be your fuel top up. But then, yeah, there's some things you could do here. Put tables over this, or different things to kind of hide it. Okay, view from the back, nice. That almost looks like it should be a table they put somewhere. You got the dinghy, crane, and this is interesting. I'm not sure we can see that from the outside. I'm not sure what they're trying to achieve there. What do you do? Where do you walk off onto? Not sure. Okay, back deck. It's got potential. You know, like I said, maybe there's something you can do. Put some teak down and make it more comfortable if you wanted to. Make an entertaining area. So this is a 4-deck. Okay, you've got a window into cabin, which is nice. Another crane. 2008. Okay, not too bad. That looks like, I guess they're showing us that's where you keep your outboard motor. Okay, so you have no Portuguese deck here. You got a nice bridge, and then they've got a dinghy here on the, what would you call that, on the cabin. But it does look like it's just on chocks, on just wood. So there's no actual cradle there for the dinghy. You could change that pretty quick. Okay, you've got your anchors. I mean, like I said, this is all very heavy duty. I've never used this sort of grade equipment before. So the question for me was, you know, can I actually use it? Can you do this remotely? Do you need crew to be, you know, trained in this to use it? How dangerous is it? All those sort of questions. Okay, your forepeak there. I guess you got your chain locker and storage of different things. So okay, that's, you don't want to be ever sleeping up the front, so that's good. So we head down the port side. So yeah, you can see a lot of things. You can see the other one was thought out, and they'd spent money on it to make it sort of a complete boat. Here, you know, it's all being put together. It's very sort of amateurish, shall we say. But that's okay. That can give you opportunities because, like I said, you got to understand the economics of boats, and if you can negotiate the price, that can fund a lot of things. Right, okay, so we've done the loop of the outdoor decks. We'll go inside. So here we are. If you look at the boat, we're entering from the aft port side, and you walk straight into the kitchen. So yeah, you can tell even from the photos, the wood's a bit tired. It all looks original. Everything probably does look a bit 70s, but that's, you know, replacing a kitchen is not the most expensive thing you can do on a boat. Yeah, even everything from the garbage can, it's just, that's like super tight. So if that is the main kitchen, you're not necessarily, we're in the hallway now. Where are we? Hallway now. We just came from here. So washing machines, full-size fridge, and then you've got the, is that the where you eat? It looks very sort of crowded. No cushions on the back. You squeeze in there, sitting very upright. It's not, doesn't look the most comfortable place to to eat in the world. You got this exposed cabling. Okay, this really, this laminate, wood style laminate. Right, so we'll go to the starboard side, and starboard side facing aft. Your laundry, yeah, that's actually not bad for laundry. You got some light, you got a washer dryer, maybe another fridge in there. Well, let's go and have a look. Maybe a folding table for folding your clothes. What's behind the door? Okay, bathroom looks very uninviting, but it's a toilet. Hanging space for your wet weather gear. Okay, oh, excuse me, sorry. Another bench there. So that seems a waste of bench. I'm not sure you're going to be hanging out in a hallway, so I wonder if it's possible to move this wall out and create more space for your kitchen, or just remove this altogether. Don't know, again, these things you just have to look at. We'll go up to the bridge. Okay, that's nice. Reversing your sit forward or aft. It's actually quite a nice touch. Again, you know, these seats don't look too bad. These ones against the wall look absolutely horrible. Not well padded, sitting very vertically, not a lot of space. Again, it just doesn't give the impression. You'll be safe from the design, but maybe not comfortable. So steering in the center, hand steering in the center, seating on the right, you know, fine, very industrial, probably original seats. I look like they're definitely not the Recaro seats. A lot of equipment which looks original. Some of the electronics have been upgraded. Okay, exposed fuses. Yeah, very functional, but not necessarily nice. Now this is the other thing to look at. If you're buying a boat and you see a lot of electric heaters around the boat, you know, it just raises alarm bells that maybe the heating is not so well installed or doesn't work very well. So this heater here raised a bit of alarm bells that maybe the bridge is not heated so well. TV camera, TV screen, old cathode ray tube, probably original, into the engine room. It looks like. I mean, nice to have an engine camera, don't get me wrong. We'll go to the port side. Oh, excuse me. So, you know, some of the romance of the boat is sort of being is really being lost. This really looks like a refit job, which again, you know, financially wise, in the cupboard. Okay, it's just a messy cupboard. It's even got a Dymo thing to print out labels. So you're probably better off getting a turnkey boat without having to do a refit, because refits can get expensive and fiddly, right? But if you've got the money and you've got the passion, doing a refit can be really rewarding, because you get to personalize it, you get to bring a bit of history back to life, You know, there's real nice satisfaction. I've done that once from, you know, my boat from 1974. Cost me a bomb, lost a lot of money. Would I do it again? Yeah, good question. I'm not sure, but glad for the experience. Financially, I probably wouldn't do it again unless I had money to burn. Let's go below decks and have a look. Where do we want to start? We're in the engine room. We'll go engine room last. So these are forward quarters. Got a double and a single. I guess that's your safety suit, big neoprene thing, survival suit. And this, look, I don't mind this woodwork too much. Again, very vertical seating, not very luxurious. Nice TV. We go forward. Okay, two bunks, radiator heating, and okay, I thought there might be maybe there's a toilet there. It doesn't look like there's room. We'll come here. What do we got? We'll go into a cabin. Okay, so that was the cabin we were in. So we explored all that bit. Let me just go aft. Okay, so you got more here. So this is your aft cabin. 1, 2, 3, 4 people aft. Now again, on a recreational private boat, I'm not sure you'd stick 4 people in a cabin and double. And I'm not sure how deep we are in the boat. This looks like they've got this sort of stacked effect, not necessarily because the shape of the boat, because the curve of the hull. It could be part of that. But you know, maybe it's just for accessibility. Who knows? Okay, so these cabins, no sinks, no toilets, and I'm just wondering if we've seen any showers. Not sure I've seen any showers back here. We go up. Not sure I've seen a shower at all. So there's a kitchen and there's down. But if we go down again, this is just pure cabins. What are we looking at? Okay, this is the engine. So this is going to be an original diesel, I'm guessing. You know, it's a big engine room. Yeah, this equipment all looks well used. I do not know these engine rooms at all, but you know, if you love boats, that can be a really nice experience, learning how to use all this equipment. Like, everything's doable. That'll be your main engine. I'm guessing that's a generator. I'm guessing it's definitely an engine. I wonder if they've got a wing engine on the boat. Maybe we'll have a quick look at that. Fuses, oh my goodness, you got the old, they ceramic fuses. So yeah, this is really original. So I mean, maybe you want to be an enthusiast, maybe you'd want to do a refit, maybe you just don't want to buy it. That would be a personal decision. So look, that's the tour. I think I'm going to start wrapping up. I just want to look at machinery, just see if it does have a I'm just going to refresh the page and see if I can translate this to English. It's going to let me, okay, now it'll let me, oh, it's going to let me do the machine. Okay, let me try again. Refresh and go to the machines, and okay, we can translate to English. Right, so June Munkel 6T MFD 260 MVH engine, 720 horsepower, 425 RPM. 425 RPM, okay. That's a very, obviously a big engine, so it runs at low speeds. 10,000 running hours, renovated in 2001. So I guess that's 10,000 hours from the renovation. So it's getting up there. I don't know about these big engines on sort of 80, 100 kilowatt engines, maybe 10 to 15,000 hours you get out of them. Propeller, stainless steel, outgoing, adjustable, auxiliary machinery, Volvo TMD, with twin disc Cummins generator. Okay, so I'm wondering if it's got two like a wing engine or something. Don't know. Let me go just quickly to the engine room. 2 auxiliary machines. Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it's got a emergency engine, which will be nice. So look, I'm going to leave it there for today. Just give you a bit of an overview of what's out there. The website, like I said, is a great website. It's worth a look, and you do get a wide range of boats here. Never seen like any sort of let's say new Explorer yachts. Maybe they get them, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, you know, a broker will sell most anything if there's money to be made, but they seem to have a style of boat they promote. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for listening again. I really appreciate the people who do. I think I had a couple of hundred since a couple of days, which is nice for me, and I enjoy this. Let me know your comments if you've got any questions, and yep,